Tonight, the Amber Geiger murder trial begins.
In the last 10 minutes of Beau's life, Amber Geiger made a series of unreasonable errors and unreasonable decisions and unreasonable choices.
Police try to unravel the circumstances surrounding a young man's shooting death, and the government is said to be moving forward with the sex offenders registry in the very near future. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Monday, the 23rd of September 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM. You can also watch on our website, www.caribbeanhottv.com, or on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. More than a year after she fatally shot Botham Jean, 26, in his Dallas apartment on the 6th of September 2018, a trial for Amber Geiger is now underway in the city. She is facing murder charges. Geiger, a former Dallas police officer, told 911 dispatchers and investigators that she mistakenly entered Jean's apartment thinking it was her own after her work shift. In their building, Jean's apartment was one floor directly above Geiger's. She was still in uniform, and Jean was unarmed when she shot and killed him.
The murder trial for Amber Geiger started Monday, with the judge hearing a number of motions from defense and prosecution. State District Judge Tammy Kemp denied the defense's call for a mistrial over an interview by the Dallas County District Attorney that a local television station aired this week. Following a midday break, the trial resumed with opening statements. Prosecutor Jason Hermes said Geiger ignored multiple signs that showed she was on the wrong apartment floor on the night she killed her upstairs neighbor, 26-year-old Botham Jean. One of those signs was a bright red doormat outside Jean's apartment. He also told jurors that Geiger had plans to meet up with her police partner with whom she was having an intimate relationship. She planned to meet him later that night, even though she had worked a 13-hour shift for the Dallas Police Department. The prosecutor also mentioned text messages between Geiger and her partner that talked about bullet trajectories, suggesting Jean was in a crouched position when he was shot, and argued Geiger didn't do anything to try to save Botham Jean after she shot him. Prosecutors said Geiger was more concerned with texting her partner than with trying to help Jean. After the shooting, she texted her partner twice, saying she needed him.
In the last 10 minutes of Beau's life, Amber Geiger made a series of unreasonable errors and unreasonable decisions and unreasonable choices. The kind of choices and decisions that only she could have stopped the errors from happening again and again and again, and she did it. And for her errors, for her omissions, Botham paid the ultimate price.
Amber Geiger's defense attorney attempted to paint a sympathetic picture of the murder accused. He spoke of the prosecution and commentators, quote, twisting innocent mistakes into evil acts. He described Geiger as a hard worker, a young woman who made a terrible but genuine mistake.
This woman that had worked so hard, that had overcome adversity in her life, that was 1 second felt she was in danger of her life, has realized she made a mistake. And you hear on the 911 call her trying to process that. And you hear on the 911 call the officers are struggling to get in there because it's so confusing. That apartment complex is so confusing that they can't find it. And so she runs out in the hallway and says, hey, here, I'm down here. And she does appeal to Martin. She does text Martin because that's her rock. That's who she's been in so many difficult situations with on the streets. She's trying to get help. She's trying to get help to Mr. John, and she's trying to get people there. She's not hiding behind anything.
Prosecutors also said Geiger sent her partner a sexually suggestive Snapchat message during the night of the shooting that said, "Wanna touch." Botham's sister was the first to take the stand in the trial. We will continue our coverage of the trial of Amber Geiger, accused of murdering St. Lucian Botham Jean.
Just over a week after one teenager was shot and killed in Georgeville, Castries, another young man has fallen victim to gun violence over the weekend, becoming the island's 34th homicide victim. The two cases are not connected. On Monday morning, Public Relations Officer of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, Corporal Ann Joseph, gave Hot 7 News the details of the deadly shooting.
On Friday, September 20th, 2019, about 10:25 p.m., 22-year-old Nicolas Jelouis of T-Larishes Dennery was seated on an outdoor bench near the main road when he was accosted by an unknown male suspect armed with a firearm. The suspect discharged multiple rounds of ammunition in his direction, wounding him in various areas about his body. Nicolas Jelouis was conveyed to the Dennery Hospital via ambulance, where he was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner.
A post-mortem will be conducted on the body later this week. In the meantime, police are asking people with any information to either contact the nearest police station or to call the crime hotline at 45-CRIME, that's 452-7463. The family of 58-year-old Thaddeus Simon of Corinth is seeking the help of the public to find their relative whom they say has been missing since Monday morning. Simon is described as having a slim build and standing at about 5 feet 11 inches or 6 feet tall. One of his two children said he was last seen wearing a long-sleeved gray shirt, a baseball cap and three-quarter shorts. The family stated that Simon would go for regular walks on mornings and would pass along the Marisil-Corinth back road route. However, they said that Monday morning was the first time that he'd gone for a walk in 2 months. The alarm was raised when he did not return at his regular time at about 7:30 a.m. His niece, Delicia, said so far the family has searched for him along his known route to no avail. According to the family, Simon has no health issues. Anyone with information is asked to contact Delicia at 725-1610. A long-standing advocate for a sex offenders registry is happy to announce that St. Lucia is soon to establish a law which would allow the identities of sex offenders to be made public. Norbert Williams says St. Lucians have a right to know such information to be able to protect themselves and their loved ones. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
St. Lucia is on the history-making path that could see local sex offenders quaking in their boots. One government official has revealed that the island is following in the footsteps of Trinidad and Tobago, with lawmakers making the final moves to establish a national sex offenders registry. Norbert Williams, who is the attaché to Prime Minister Alan Chasney, as well as the founder of Speak Out St. Lucia, said the notion has the unanimous support of the cabinet. He said the manner in which it will be implemented will depend on a number of different considerations.
What I can say to a number of people who have questioned the progress of the sex offender registry, that there are quite a number of considerations as far as the current laws are concerned, amendments that have to be made. This does take a while, and I know people have been discussing this for quite a number of years. It's an issue that many other organizations and individuals have lobbied for, and not wanting to say too much, we are moving in the right direction, and I think there will be some positive response to this in the very near future.
Although Trinidad passed the legislation on the registry on the 13th of September 2019, Williams said this has been a pressing topic in St. Lucia for many years, and so although the wheels have turned slowly, the destination is in sight.
The Attorney General's Chambers has a number of issues which are quite important as well, but the significance of dealing with sex crimes in St. Lucia and child molestation are something that have been of concern for decades in St. Lucia. But nevertheless, I must say that what is to come will be historic, because at this point I think we are the closest that we have ever been in the process.
Williams said with the National Sex Offenders Registry, A holistic approach will now be taken to tackle the issue, which he described as dire.
When we talk about the system, we only talk about law enforcement, but there has to be a buy-in by everyone. The sex offender registry is not going to be effective all by itself. Families, relatives, parents, guardians, teachers all have their part to play, because an offender cannot get on the registry unless he's convicted. And many people are concerned about individuals' rights, but the thing is, you have to be convicted. And to be convicted, the whole system, not just law enforcement, but all of us as a community have to do the right thing.
The Sexual Offences Amendment Bill 2019 was passed without amendment with 28 for, none against, and no abstentions. The bill outlines for the provision of a national sexual offender register for offenders over 18. However, the names on the list would only be made available to the public via a court order. It would also allow for police to record information of each registered offender, including photographs, fingerprints, and DNA samples. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. Still to come, UK holiday makers are being repatriated after the collapse of the world's oldest travel company. A credit union stalwart passes away, and the USNS naval ship is finally here. That and more when we return.